yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think there has to be. I mean, you're hitting each other in the face, and you could get ACLs torn and all that stuff. Speaking of which, you got your Achilles torn too, right?
Oh, bro, that was a rough one.
That is gnarly.
That was one of my that's I think probably one of the hardest things I think I've had to go through was that Achilles rupture.
I understand why, but why? Like, what would you say is the thing about that particular injury besides like an ACL tear on your knee or you know what I mean? Like other injuries that you've had probably.
I haven't had the ACL. I've had meniscus. I've had knee issues forever. That's what it. But I kind of compare it to an ACL tear just because I think timeline wise they're both right around like that 9 months to a year roughly.
It's a hard
for you to get back. Yeah, and it's just long, and you're off your feet for so long. And I remember when it happened, I was warming up. I was shadowboxing and I just bounced around and I thought somebody kicked my leg out. I hit the ground and there was nobody around me. I got up and it felt like I was standing on a waterbed. Like I was like, bro, I can't even stabilize. It was the weirdest feeling. And then it was so scary.
It hurt, I'm guessing too, right? When you
I don't remember much of the pain. I remember more of like the anxiety of it because I was like, this feels pretty serious. And then I was just off my feet for so damn long. And then like a month after the surgery, maybe a little longer, I had to go back into surgery because they were worried about risk of infection.
That's right. Yeah.
So I had to get it cleaned again, which reset my clock. Like it was just, it tested me a lot. And I guess for some people it would be sort of a, oh man, do I even want to keep doing this to my body or whatever? I never had that thing, but like I can understand why people would, because that is just, that alone was so tedious and like hard on the mind. And I did, it took a lot to like get back to like a fight ready position, because I'm basically starting from ground zero once we getting back in shape and trying to like build muscle on that side, because now that whole thing's atrophied and the other side's been compensating for so much, bro.
Right.
That was a nightmare. That was my least favorite martial arts memory is what that one was.
Man. Like I fucking get it. What was the hardest about that? So I know you just said that the mental, you probably, you couldn't train fully.
Yeah.
Was it just staying in bed? Like what was it? You couldn't train? What made it so mentally like taxing on you?
Yeah, not being able to train was rough. I didn't realize how much I think a lot of us probably realized during COVID that like how much we actually rely on physical training for our mental health.
Yeah, dude.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, that's huge.
That killed me. That was rough. I think that was right around the end of, right around the end of COVID too. Like just having to sit on the sidelines and watch and not be part of the growth process that everybody else is going through. Because I still went to the gym trying to get like mental reps and still learning through osmosis.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
But hell ain't the same, dude.
No, it's not. In my free time, I can't remember what we were doing for money. I don't remember. I think Sheena was taking care of things with the GI Bill for school or something. My body is my pay, so like my body's out of commission, so pay's out of commission, and man, it was a lot to go through.
Yeah. Do you worry about that too often, or are you just kind of like, again, like kind of fuck it, you only live once kind of thing? Like I know that you're a professional fighter. That's how you base everything on, and with you, not to get too personal, obviously, but you getting married, and then maybe down the line, like some little ones. How much do you think about that, man? Like,
I try not to.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't want to worry about things and make them a reality.
Ignorance is bliss, right?
Ignorance is bliss a little bit, and then if something happens, we deal with it accordingly. Like, I don't want to waste any mental energy on something that may not happen.
Smart.
Yeah, I try to balance my own anxiety like that.
Yeah,
with a little bit of willful ignorance.
No, that's exactly, dude. That's exactly why I do this podcast, because that's really, really smart. What I've learned over the years is that there's no point of worrying till it actually happens, and there's a difference between planning and worrying. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Future. It's like, so what you just said right there really hit. It's like sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that like I always draw a lot of parallels from life into fight life, essentially. Like fighting is kind of life condensed, like in terms of the emotions we go through and like how we handle things, and life is a fight in and of itself. So like I said, that's just one of those parallels that I take that same sort of figure it out when the time comes.
Yeah,
I try to take that into life for many other aspects as well.
Right. That's especially in this game, man. That's because I kind of feel like you're more harming yourself when it's good to be cautious, but you're harming yourself more. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy if you think about that, right? And like, well, what if I get hurt down the line? Well, you're probably gonna get hurt now since you're thinking about it all the time. Right?
Yeah. And to draw that parallel of how it goes in a fight too, like my first run in the UFC, I was trying not to make mistakes. I was trying to be kind of perfect, which pulled me back way too much. And now I was losing like close decisions or just not doing enough to really set the standard and win the fight.
Yep.
Right. So again, that just goes back from life, taking over to fighting. And it's just one of those parallels.